and other places in the northwest and southwest where the shops have been burned, where some of their shops who used to open on Mondays and cars have been set ablaze. The fear factor is one. Psychologically, the common man has a fear factor and a nervousness, and we know that living in difficulties, they have been resilient, and they feel that they need safety measures too. Also, Mr. Moderator, and I think that the mayor of Boye should not be too strict on the people. I know that it's his area of jurisdiction. He has the right as the mayor of the municipality, and the government also is fighting against ghost town, but he has to understand the plight of these common people because they have worked so hard in difficult moments like this to have their stores, and I think that it's just the matter of the fear factor, the psycho dissonance of the people, the fear factor, and the mayor has to work on the mind of the people in a very calm way to work with them in collaboration. And looking at other places in the northwest and southwest, recently in Bamenda today, there was a bomb explosion, a local bomb explosion that kept many people on the run. And you know that recently on the 20th May, we also had such scenario on the 11th February. And I want to say that the issue of local bomb now is becoming an issue that we need to be careful, we need to be prudent in this country. And in Yaoundé, it happened recently. I saw many Anglophones were taken for investigation, and many Anglophones' houses were searched. And we see that the Anglophones are not even safe in this country. And we think that many things are going, that negotiation is still going on in this country, and we feel that our government needs to be open-minded, especially the local governance now. And looking at Bamenda again today in the villages, Mr. Moderator, our villagers are suffering. Our villagers are in pain. As I'm telling you, many villagers are becoming refugees and IDPs, especially in Biame, in the northwest region, where there was a fight between the separatists, and there was a fight between the separatists and the military, and many villagers have to run out of their villages, and we see that the rate of IDPs now is too high. And when you see young children of about 8 years psychologically down, running with their parents, carrying out belongings from one place to another, is so stressful to the people, and I think that leads to a lot of depression, it leads to a lot of stress and anxiety, and it's high time government facilitate the issue of negotiation, and we need negotiation that will be very honest, that will be very assertive, where all the parties will be there. And I think that Sisiko and the other people are brought to, like Sako, because people like Sako, I think that they need to understand that it's the common man here at home that is suffering, because they are abroad, they are foiling the crisis. We know that it's a genuine cause for self-determination, but they have to understand that we need to dialogue, because Sako was already refusing the issue of reconstruction. But I also say that reconstruction must go before peace must come. Peace and justice and peace must come before reconstruction, which is a process, and dialogue is a process. And we are facing a deep crisis that we need to first of all talk of justice first before reconstruction. For that, I think that we need an enabling environment. Going out of the crisis, let me land, Mr. Moderator, permit me. Going out of the crisis, the president of FECAFOOT is not really happy with Cameroon, because Cameroon did not host the final of the African League. And the FECAFOOT president was not very, very angry with Cameroon. But thank God that the FECAFOOT boss in Cameroon came out to say that it's the issue of COVID-19. And we know that COVID-19 is dreadful. We have seen leaks going out of Europe, whereby population are not in the field. And I think that the FECAFOOT in Cameroon, they are right for that, because we are talking of physical distance, we are talking of social distance, the health of the people, and we see how COVID-19 is dreadful and people are dying, and we cannot go to the football. We cannot accept people to be coming into our country when we know that COVID-19 is still very rampant. And before I end, Mr. Moderator, the Prime Minister and Head of Government held a meeting and was very annoyed that many Cameroonians are not putting on their face masks, and he was very angry that the issue of social distance, the issue of physical distance in public places are not respected, the measures are not respected, which is true. I've observed psychologically that many people feel that many Cameroonians feel that COVID-19 is not a reality, but COVID-19 is a reality, it's killing. But the numbers keep getting high, but we don't understand how these figures are being counted, but we feel that COVID-19, we need to be prudent. We need to be prudent. All Cameroonians have to be prudent for us to to fight and combat COVID-19, the issue of face masks still remains very important in social places, even at home. We need to understand that COVID-19 is so dreadful, especially people are, you see them in drinking spots, very, very close. I've observed that here in Boya municipality, and we feel that our economy is in sham, and government also have to be very careful when they open measures like these. That the bars and nightclubs should be open when they cannot do follow-up measures. But I've also seen places where the military harass people to collect money from them because of COVID-19, people not putting on their masks, which is not the best. Education, we need to continue educating the people. And I've seen many youths and non-governmental organizations doing their best to support this issue of COVID-19. And the Prime Minister and Head of Government, which I respect, said that we should, the youth also are also sensitizing people and supporting the COVID-19 era should also be guided. And I think that we all must work collectively like Africans, because I feel that Julius Nyerere, one of the Tanzania head of state, once said that we should work, we should live as brotherhood, we should live as sisterhood. But now everybody, every Cameroonian should be able to educate a neighbor. For us to come out of this dreadful COVID-19, we should respect the measures. It's very important for us, because we have seen even the President of the United States of America once said that COVID-19, he took it lightly, and many people died in America. But recently, you saw President Trump with a face mask to tell us that COVID-19 is very, very dreadful, Mr. Moderator, Mr. Mambo Williams.
Even the President of Brazil.
Even the President of Brazil. So we have to respect these measures put on by government. We have to respect the measures of COVID-19, because first of all, the Anglophone crisis is draining the government, and COVID-19 also. And we think that with the funds of COVID-19 also, we need some accountability of the funds. We know of organizations that have supported COVID-19. We know of individual statements who have supported. We know of company. So I think that at the end of this dreadful pandemic, we need some accountability to see how we have combat COVID-19, how the monies were used. Mr. Moderator, permit me, I was so long because I was talking and waiting for my co-panelist.
Yes,
and I'm happy that he's back. He has come, sorry, he has come.
What do you have to comment about the killers of Florence Ayafo?
I think that for now, those people, the killers, are still suspects. Okay. Because the government said they caught 2 boys who are suspects of the killer. And I want to say that those who killed her, the way she was killed as a woman, we must respect human dignity. Life, I always say that life is so sacrosanct. We are losing life. And we as humans never created people. We cannot be fighting and killing our brothers and sisters. So it's still a process, still a court. I think that the court will justify that, but as for now, they are still suspect. But I think that the way people die, the way the woman was brutalized and killed, was not good. And we need to respect human dignity. That's what the United Nations human rights even says, that people have dignity, and we must respect human dignity. We should not kill people on bullets. We should not kill people brutally and so on, because life is special, life is sacred, life is sacrosanct. But we have seen cases here that military is killing civilians, civilians killing military, separatists. That's not how we should live in Cameroon. And President Paul Biya, when he came to power, he reinforced the issue of national integration, where you saw issues of intermarriages, you saw issue of social cohesion, living together in unity and in peace. But today, we can look at the Anglophone crisis. You have seen many Anglophones, they're in Nigeria, they're in Cross River State, and the government is still very cool with that. And I say that if we are talking about national integration, we need to be sensitizing more of peace. And I want to say that if we want to do so, the military should go back to their barrack as fast as possible, because many people are suffering, many people are psychologically down, they're in dissonance, because the mind is something that we need to work on, understand how the mind works, because it would take a lot of time for people who have been, let me say, like for instance, the Gabu massacre. It would take a lot of time for children of that environment to bounce back, to life, because the mindset, because they always have this episodic memory from their mind, that painful memory from their mind. And we think that we need to close the gap now. And for us to close the gap, we must start to justice in this country. And when I say justice in this country, I think that President Biya can grant amnesty to the separatist leaders. He called the negotiation process continues, and then we call for an honest, inclusive dialogue. And then even the people abroad, they should be allowed to come home without being arrested. And we sit together as a people, we talk our issue. And President Paul Biya should be present around this time around. Like the Measure National Dialogue, he was not there. But I feel that President Paul Biya has to be there to discuss the issues, the pressing, burning issues of the country, because he is the head of state. When COVID-19 started and was very dreadful, people wanted President Paul Biya to come out and give hope to the people. We political analysts, we made mention of that. And I think that the word of the president is great. And I think that President Paul Biya, as the Constitution of the Republic of Cameroon stipulates, he is the guarantor of peace. And I think that we need peace in Cameroon for people to live their normal life.
Okay. Yeah, we shall be coming on that because we have that on the agenda. Dear viewers, before we continue, let me just give you the agenda of today. The first topic shall be on education on the academia in Cameroon. We shall be discussing on certificate exam.